Welcome to Web Trio. Today we will start learning about CSS, which is the tool we use to make websites look nice. It helps us add colors, change fonts, and arrange things on your page. If you are just starting with the web design, this video is perfect for you. Let's begin. Cascading style sheets is used to style the HTML content. Think of HTML as the skeleton and CSS as the outfit and makeup. It brings your web page to life visually. Without CSS, every website would like black text on the white background. We use CSS to change the colors, fonts, and layouts, even animations. It helps us to create a great user experience. CSS saves a lot of work. It can control the layouts of multiple web pages all at once. We are moving to our next slide, which is about basic CSS format. The basic syntax is simple. We use selector followed by curly braces and inside that a property and value. The selector points to HTML element you want to style. The decoration block contains one or more decorations separated by semicolon. Each declaration includes a CSS property, name and value and separated by the semicolon. Multiple CSS decorations are separated with semicolons and decoration blocks are surrounded by the curly braces. Let's say an example. Here we have provided one example which is the H1 tag, which is the property of color and which is the element is value is red. How to add the CSS? When a browser ready a style sheet, it will format the HTML document according to the information in the style sheet. We have three ways to insert the CSS. What are they? One is inline CSS, internal CSS, and the external CSS. So why exactly we need CSS? Imagine editing the style of each heading across hundred of pages. With CSS, you can do it all in one place. It makes your code cleaner, easier to maintain and scalable. Plus, it separates content from design, which is best practice in web development. Now we are moving into our next slide, which is inline CSS. An inline CSS style may be used to apply a unique style for the single element. To use inline styles, add the style attribute to the relevant element. The style attribute can contain any CSS properties. Inline styles are defined within the style attribute. Let's see an example, which is the paragraph tag. Inside the opening tag, we add styles equal, then we put our CSS inside the quotation marks. We write color blue. This means the text will appear in the blue. Then we close the tag and write the word hello. So when you open this in a browser, it will shows the word hello in blue color. It is a quick way to add the style, but it's not the best way for the big websites. We'll learn better ways later. Now we are discussing another way to represent the CSS in the website. An internal CSS. An internal style sheet may be used for if single HTML page has a unique style. The internal style is defined inside the angular brackets. Now let's learn about the most powerful and recommended way to add CSS, and that is the external CSS. External CSS means we write all our styles in a separate file, not inside the HTML page. This keeps our code clean and easy to manage, especially when we have lots of pages on the website. So instead of writing styles inside the HTML file, we make a new file and give it a name like style.css. Then in our HTML file, we'll link to that CSS file by writing this line inside the head section. Let's go through how to we link it. Link is, this is the HTML tag that tells the browser I want to link something. rel, which is a style sheet, this tells the browser that the file we are linking in CSS style sheet. href, style.css, this tells it the name of the CSS file to use. In this case, it's called style.css. So whenever the HTML page loads, it goes and fetches that CSS file and applied all styles from it. This is the best method when you are building full websites because you can use the same CSS file on many pages and make changes in just one page. So remember, inline is for small elements, internal is for HTML page, and external is for big projects or full websites. Now let's take a closer look at RGB values in CSS. RGB stands for red, green, blue. The three main colors used in screen. In this system, you mix different amounts of green, red and blue light to create any color. Each value can go from 0 to 255. 0 means no light of that color. 255 means bright fullness of that color. This sets the paragraph text to pure red because it's full red and no green or no blue. Here are the some other examples which is of RGB 25500 which is for red and RGB 0255 is for green, RGB 00255 is for blue. And we see some more examples like RGB 255 is yellow and RGB 000 is for blue, black and so on. You can experiment by changing the numbers to make custom colors like pink, purple or soft grey. RGB is super helpful. When you want more control over your color shades, you will often use it in buttons, backgrounds, overs and effects or anywhere you want to specific color fill. So next time you want to make your site pop, try creating your own color using RGB. Don't forget it. Try to make it. Let's talk about the hexa codes. Another way to write colors in CSS. Hexa stands for hexadecimal, which is just a number system based on 16 digits, which is 0 to 9 and A to F. In CSS, hexa color codes always starts with a hashtag symbol followed by 6 characters. These characters represent how much red, green, blue colors contain, just like RGB, but in a shorter format. Now let's take an example for the red. The first two characters for F for the red and next two for 0 which is of green, the last two for blue which is also a 0. So the overall color is to present is the red and next we are moving for the green. The first two is to represent the red which is a 0. The next two is representing green which is of F and the last two is for blue which is of 0. Similar way the for green. Hexa colors are the super useful when working with your design tools like a Canva, Photoshop. They often give you hexa values that you can copy straight into your CSS. There are even a shorter version. If the pairs are the same, you can write just 3 characters. Asterisk FF is same as asterisk FF which is for white and hashtag 00 is same as hashtag 000000 which is for black. So hexa codes give you a clean and compact way to write colors and you will see them used everywhere in the web design. Now let's learn about the text align property in CSS. This property is used to control how text is aligned inside its container, like inside a paragraph or a heading. There are four main values you can use. Left. This is the default. It aligns the text to the left side, and right. It pushes the text to the right side. Center. Centers the text in the middle. Justify. Spreads the text evenly across the full width, like a newspaper. Let's see an example. This will center all the paragraph text on the page. You can apply text align to center. Heading, para, divs and all block elements can be present in the middle of the page. Just remember, text align works on the content inside the element, not the element itself. If you want to move the whole block, you had use other layout tools like margin or flexbox. Try experimenting with different values and see how it changes the look of text. For example, center align your subtitles for a balanced look or justify paragraphs for a clean recording. Next up is the font weight property. This is used to make your text bolder and lighter. You have probably seen bold headings or buttons with the thick text. That's done using the font weight. There are two main ways to use it. One is keyword values, another one is numeric values. You can use keyword values like normal, bold, italic, all those. Normal, this is the default and regular text. Bold, this makes the text the bold. This means make your heading stand out with the bold text. Now we are moving to the numeric values. CSS also let you use numbers from 100 to 900 to control how thick the text looks. 100 is the thinnest, 400 is the normal, 700 is the bold, and 900 is the boldest. Let's see an example. Apply the font weight 700. This gives your bold paragraph text. Just head ups, not all fonts support all weights. Some fonts might only have the normal and bold, while others offer more weight options. Using font weight helps you highlight important text like titles, buttons, alerts, while keeping other text easy to read. So go ahead and try it out. Bold your heading or experiment with different font weights to make your website more visually appealing. Let's learn about the text decoration property in CSS. It is used to add or remove decorations from text, like underline or lines through the words. You have probably seen links that you are underlined, that thanks to text decoration. Here are the most common values you can use, like underline, overline, line through, and none. Underline adds the line under the text. Overline adds a line above the text. Line through puts a line through middle like a strike through. None remove any decoration. You can also combine it with color or hover effects to make text look more stylish and attractive. So remember, text decoration helps you control how text looks, especially for links, headings, or any text you want to draw attention to. Next, let's talk about the line height property in CSS. Line height controls the amount of vertical space between lines of text. In other words, how far apart each line is from the next one. If your lines are too close together, the text can look sophisticated and hard to read. But with the right height, your content looks cleaner and more comfortable to read. Now let's see an example of paragraph tagged with a line height of 1.5. This means the space between lines will be 1.5 times the size of the font. So if your text is 16 pixels, the space between the lines will be about 24 pixels. You can also use other values like 1, which is default, tight spacing, 1.5 for is good for paragraphs and 2 for most spacious. You can even set it in units like line height, which is 24 pixels. But using unitless values like 1.5 is more flexible and works better across different screen sizes. Let's talk about CSS units. These are used to set sizes in CSS like font sizes, spacing, widths and more. There are mainly two types of units in CSS, which is absolute units and relative units. Absolute units, this does not change based on the screen size. Let take an example. Pixel stands for pixels. It is the most commonly used unit. For example, font size is 16 pixels. This means the text will always be 16 pixels tall and no matter what. Relative units. This changes based on the other sizes like the screen or parent element. EM based on the size of the parent element. REM based on the size of the root element, usually used in the HTML tags. If the parent is 16 pixel, then 15 EM is 24 pixel. If the root is 16 pixel, then 1 REM is 16 pixel. There are also viewport units, which is VW, 1% of viewport's width, and VH 1% of viewport height. This means the element will take up 50% of the screen width. So when should we use which? Will everybody have this type of tools? Let's clarify it. Use pixels when you want fixed or pixel perfect control, or use EM or REM for responsive designs that adjust to your screen size. Use VH and VW for full screen layouts or elements that should scale with the screen. Understanding CSS helps you build layouts that work well on desktops, tablets and phones. It is the one of the key to great responsive design. Now, next interesting topic is font family property. In CSS, this is used to set the type of font used in your text. Fonts are the big part of your website looks and feel. The font family property lets you choose from different styles like professional, playful or modern depending on what you want. Let's take an example paragraph with font family Arial and sans serif. Let's break it down. Arial is the main font we want to use. Sans serif is the fallback. In case the user browser does not have Arial installed, it will use another sans serif font. It is the good habit to always list a generic family at the end, like serif, sans serif, monospace, cursive, fantasy. This makes sure your text still looks good even if the exact font isn't available. Want fancy fonts? You can use Google Fonts to get beautiful free fonts of your site. Just copy the link they will give add it to HTML head and you then use the font's name in your CSS. In this head section of index.html, we link the CSS file using the link tag like this link real is equal to style sheet href style.css which have created in the css.file sheet which will okay. This tells the browser to use styles from the external file. Let's begin adding the h2 tag with color of blue. aqua green. Let's take a H2 tag and open the color braces and select one color which is aqua. I'm selecting here, and now we are choosing the background color to highlight the background without the white color. Here I'm taking the background color as yellow. No, characteristics. Here in the H2 tag I'm writing here, enjoy the session. Enjoy the summer with the web trio coding channel. To explore more videos, let's take an H2 tag with, in here we are writing about the text. Let's take some example text. Enjoy this summer coding trio. Enjoy this session with web trio coding to explore more things. Now moving to CSS file. Save it and open in the browser. Now we are opening the paragraph tag. In that we are writing class and background dot color slash example. This is text is in yellow color. Next we are moving. In the HTML file, we add a paragraph tag like this: para class color color example. This text is in purple color. In the CSS file, we create a class dot color example and use the color property to make the text in purple color. When you open this in the browser, the text appears in purple color. Now we are moving to background color. Now we add another paragraph tag with the class name BC example, which is background example. This text is in yellow in color. In CSS we write dot, which is the class dot selector, bg example, which is background color is yellow color. So this gives the yellow. Let's see how it is look at the website with the all different colors and different fonts and different text spacing. This letter spaces is increased in between two and more. Here the size of the letter length is increased, and this text uses the sans serif font family, and here it adds the background color as a like green in color, which is a background black, and orange it makes, which is of inline, which is internal, which is all those are external fonts, external CSS. And these all the fonts we have used in CSS to make perfect. And still now we have explored what is CSS, how it works, and how to style text using colors, alignment, font, and spacing. In next video, we will tackle the box model, layout, padding, margin, borders, and more. If this helped you, give us a like and subscribe to WebDrive. Comment below with questions or future topics would you like to see. Thank you.